All right, guys. Fourth time's a charm today. It's our last shot this morning. We're going to give it a shot. So we've already spun the wheels. We have already spun the wheels once. We might spin them again. First wheel, we got baseball. We'll get our scripted part out of the way. Cheers, guys. Happy Friday, October 24th. Second wheel, we got return of. And third wheel, we got tell story backwards. So what I was thinking for this was we're going to feature Satchel Paige, who we're gonna do some research on this, but I believe he pitched when he was 59 years old for one game. Pitching 3 scoreless innings in 1965. He was 59 years old. The oldest man ever to play Major League Baseball. Yeah, we're live, Clarks. This is our last shot at it this morning. Thanks for joining right back up. Satchel Paige pitched 3 scoreless innings in 1965. Maybe we can add the team he pitched for. He was 59 years old, the oldest man ever to play Major League Baseball. Let's go. That's the right. Thanks for the hype this morning, Clarks. I really appreciate it. Hopefully we didn't lose all trust that the algo had with us, giving us all a bunch of viewers and stuff. But anyway, we're going to keep going. So we got baseball, the return of, tell story backwards. So let's just tell the story of Satchel Paige. Because now I grew up with this. We're kind of taking on the historian role, guys. You know, we both do the media, but we also do history too. So today we're going to take on the history role. Is that true? Hello. Welcome. Well, thank you. I love you too. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. How do I do a heart in the chat? There we go. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining, guys. We're going to be making a baseball short here about Satchel Paige. So I'm starting to write the script here. We'll probably write a script, record it, and then set it over pictures of Satchel Paige because we don't have video, most likely. Going to be hard to find some clippage about Satchel Paige. But Wheelie, thank you so much. Anyway, that's what we're going to be doing today. Satchel Paige pitched 3 scoreless innings in 1965. He was 59 years old, the oldest man ever to play Major League Baseball. Paige debuted. Well, we got to mention his legend somehow. Satchel Paige is full of legends. He would do things like call in all of his hitters, or I'm sorry, all of his fielders from the outfield and infield, and then strike people out. Do stuff like that. So and he pitched for years and years in the Negro Leagues before Major League Baseball was integrated. So we're doing that because we spun the wheels. We got baseball, the return of, and tell the story backwards. So we're going to tell Satchel Paige's story backwards. We're going to start with he pitched 3 innings in 1965. It was kind of a gimmick because he was 59 years old at the time. But I think that allowed him to qualify for the Major League Baseball pension. So that might be why he did it. But wow, there's a Joe DiMaggio called Paige the best and fastest pitcher he ever faced. Well, he's got multiple. Well, exactly, Elena. We're kind of taking a ironic look at the return of Satchel Paige because it was his return, in quotes, to the MLB. But it was actually... Well, he debuted as a rookie in 1942 in the majors. And so that's going to be the next point. So we can say Satchel Paige pitched 3 scoreless innings in 1965. He was 59 years old, the oldest man ever to play Major League Baseball. Then we can say 17 years before that. We're telling his story backwards. He debuted in the major leagues at 42 because he was born in 1908, it looks like. He was born in the 1900s, early 1900s, and baseball wasn't integrated until Jackie Robinson. I believe in 1948. We can look that up too. I should know that. Yeah, he's a legendary pitcher, Elena. I'm sure he's on some people's lists of greatest of all time. But he pitched for years and probably decades. We'll do all this research as we're writing the scripts. He pitched for decades in the Negro Leagues, and so not all of his stats are recorded. But yeah, he's considered one of the greatest pitchers of all time. So we'll say 17 years before that. I don't know if we need... We'll say Paige debuted in the major leagues at 42 years old. He was the first black pitcher in World Series history. He helped Cleveland win the pennant and was the first black pitcher in World Series history. So far we've got Satchel Paige pitched 3 scoreless innings in 1965. He was 59 years old, the oldest man ever to play Major League Baseball. Page debuted in the major leagues at 42 years old. He helped Cleveland win the pennant and was the first black pitcher in World Series history. Then we can say, then we need maybe a couple paragraphs about his, let's just look. I mean, there are probably many legends of Satchel Paige. So, maybe something about his time in the Negro Leagues. He started his professional career in 1926, and he didn't debut in the major leagues until 1948. So for 2 decades, we'll say that, for 2 decades prior to his major league debut, Satchel Paige dominated the Negro Leagues and, should we say, grew his legend or something like that? Thanks for joining today, guys. Happy Friday. For decades prior to his major league debut, Satchel Paige dominated the Negro Leagues and built and grew his legend to what, something, well, I should be able to memorize all this. So what we're going to do here is I'll say all this and we'll change that to built his legend. Thanks for the editing. Definitely, I need the editing this morning. So far we got Satchel Paige pitched 3 scoreless innings in 1965. He was 59 years old, the oldest man ever to play Major League Baseball. Paige debuted in the major leagues at 42 years old. He helped Cleveland win the pennant and was the first black pitcher in World Series history. For decades prior to his major league debut, Satchel Paige dominated the Negro Leagues and built his legend. And then we'll try to mention there are a whole bunch of legendary stories about Satchel Paige. Is it true? Maybe we can give a nod that maybe some of these aren't true. If you get what I'm, or not true, but we have to say something about how the stories, some of the myths include, maybe something like that. Some of his myths. Does that make sense? It's a little clunky. The Legend of Satchel Paige. That can be the title. The Legend of Satchel Paige can be the title. That's a pretty good title. The myths are, well, I'm just saying they're myths because I've heard that, the one that I had offhand before looking into anything was that he would call his, like, say he, you know, say he was feeling super confident, he would call his fielders in, like, say, go to the dugout, and then just strike everybody out with no fielders in the field. And then but then I just Googled it, and I just saw that he would tell his fielders to take a knee. So, there's no video of this, and we're just starting our historical journey into Satchel Paige. Also, I just read online that Josh Gibson, but I just read on Reddit. I don't know how. That's what I said. It's hard to verify this stuff. This says here, their favorite story is he walked the bases loaded in a World Series game just to. What do you think about KBO? Korean baseball? I mean, it's one of the best baseball leagues on the planet. I don't know that much about it. I think you're talking about Korean baseball. I don't know much about it. If you want to, yeah. I mean, it's one of the best baseball leagues on the planet. Thanks for the comment. I really appreciate it. We're talking about Satchel Paige right now, who was a legend in another, not in the major leagues. I mean, he's a legend not for what he did in the major leagues. He's a legend for his Negro League career. So I'd be interested to know if there are any. B-Wall's asking, do I pay for flight Wi-Fi to tune in to the live stream? I'll just say, yeah. We got 12 people in here right now. So, but you see, this is also hard to verify because it's hard to verify because it's hard to, I mean, yeah, we got to learn TMC June. If you want to tell more about the KBO, we got to cover more international stuff. We will. We'll get there. But I'm saying it's kind of hard to, like Josh Gibson, he didn't play in the World Series. But let's see, what are these other ones? Telling a rookie Willie Mays he would strike him out on 3 fastballs and then doing just that. This is good. This is a good little Reddit. This is what Reddit is good for. We'll hear all the... He did pitch 3 scoreless innings, only allowing 1 base runner and getting a strikeout at age 58. Now, part of the legend with Satchel Paige is we don't really know how old he was. His birthday wasn't fully known. The lone base runner was Prime Yaz. This person says, I'm sure most of it's folklore, but the guy did have nasty stuff. All right, well, we'll just tell the story. We'll say some of his legends include telling his fielders to take a knee or to come into the dugout while he struck out. Some of his legends include telling his fielders, What sounds better? Because we can. It's a legend, you know. We can kind of take our own thing with it. Some of his legends include telling his fielders to take a knee while he struck out the side, walking the bases loaded to strike out a prime Josh Gibson, and then I think he like grew up learning to throw rocks or something like that. So we can end with that. Or that can transition to his like childhood. And I think he spent time in juvenile. Let's go, guys. We're about almost at 100 views here. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate all the support. Thanks for tuning in. This is going to be good, though. This is our Satchel Paige short based on the result of the wheel spinning. Okay, so some of his legends include telling his fielders to take a knee while he struck out the side. KBO has a very attractive cheering culture. Thank you for letting us know. Well, do you have a team? What's your favorite KBO team? And also are there any who are the legends of the KBO? Doosan Bears. So I see they're based in Seoul. Are there multiple baseball teams there in Seoul? I see they've won some league they've won some championships. That's good to see. All right, well, we'll look into those guys. Thanks for sharing. Very cool. Very cool. I'll write those names down, and we'll look into those, guys. That's what I'm doing right now. Very cool. Very cool. So, do you like it when when players from the KBO go and join the major leagues, or is it like you're sad to see them go? So, Choi Dong-Won. Yeah, I'd never heard of these guys. Very cool. So those were two pitchers you gave me. Oh, yeah, Rue. Of course. Of course. Yeah, yeah. Cool. Yeah, he was great with the Dodgers. All right, let me finish writing this legend, the legend of Satchel Paige. Well, we just cracked 100 views. This is our first stream with 100 views, guys. So thank you so much. Very glad we got back on this morning. It was a little bit of a struggle, but we made it. All right, so right now our script, we have Satchel Paige pitched 3 scoreless innings in 1965. He was 59 years old, the oldest man ever to play Major League Baseball. Paige debuted in the major leagues at 42 years old. He helped Cleveland win the pennant and was the first black pitcher in World Series history. For decades prior to his major league debut, Satchel Paige dominated the Negro Leagues and grew his legend. Some of his, I'll say maybe say grew his myth, or well, it'll be fine. Very cool. Yeah, I'll do some more reading into those guys. Some of his legends include telling his fielders to take a knee while he struck out the side, walking the bases loaded to strike out a prime Josh Gibson. I'll say, and then I'll do a third one. Satchel Paige. So Satchel was his nickname. I didn't even. Guess that makes sense. Leroy Robert Page. "17 days after his 12th birthday, Page was sentenced to 6 years, or until his 18th birthday. So he learned how to pitch in. Jeez, that is. So he was in juvenile from the time he was 12 to almost 18. He's summed up his years of incarceration. "I traded 5 years of freedom to learn how to pitch. At least I started my real learning on the mount. They were not wasted years at all. It made a real man out of me." Wow. So that's a quote from Satchel Paige. Maybe that's how we'll end it. Some of his legends include telling his fielders to take a knee while he struck out the side, walking the bases loaded to strike out a prime Josh Gibson, and learning how to pitch while incarcerated from age 12 to 17. Page said, what did he say? I traded 5 years of freedom to learn how to pitch. I traded 5 years. They were not wasted years. ... They were not wasted years at all. It made a real man out of me. All right, so that's what we're going to record, guys. Should we end it there? Elena, if you're around, any editing? We'll say, like, what else do we need to add? Or, well, I mean, I don't think we need to add anything, actually. Satchel Paige pitched 3 scoreless. This is... Satchel Paige pitched 3 scoreless innings in 1965. He was 59 years old, the oldest man ever to play Major League Baseball. Paige debuted in the major leagues at 42 years old. He helped Cleveland win the pennant and was the first black pitcher in World Series history. For decades prior to his major league debut, Satchel Paige dominated the Negro Leagues and grew his legend. Some of his legends include telling his fielders to take a knee while he struck out the side, walking the bases loaded to strike out a prime Josh Gibson, and learning how to pitch while incarcerated from age 12 to 17. Paige said, I traded 5 years of freedom to learn how to pitch. They were not wasted years at all. It made a real man out of me. I mean, I think that's good. Thank you, Clarks. That's why we're trying to have uplifting content. Did you see we had somebody tried to get me in trouble this morning? That was on one of the other streams. It's all good. But then we had, who did he say was the Choi Dong-Won? Maybe we'll do a KBO short at some point for our guy TMC June. All right, well, very good wheels this morning. The wheel was rigged in a good way. We'll take it. No, nobody, Clarks. Nobody. Nobody. They're hidden. They're hidden from the channel. But thanks for sticking around, guys. I'm gonna start recording this pronto. All right, let's see how I do recording the script. Trying to we'll see if I'll try to do it from memory. Might take me a couple times. We'll see. First stream over 100 views, guys. Let's go. That's a fiesta. Not having the momentum with the shorts right now, but definitely on the lives. We got a ton of momentum. It's great. So, thanks for sticking around, guys. Almost 3 months of streaming now. Let's see. We started August, September, October. Yeah, almost 3 full months in. So, that's what we've been doing. All right, I'm going to try to record this. Maybe I just do one line at a time. Do we try that? And like clip it together? You know what I'm saying? Would that be better? Should we try that? Maybe I just try to record it. All right, I like that, Elena. We're going to try it. We'll just do it different. We'll do it one line at a time, and then we'll just clip them all together. And it'll be way better that way. Because that way I can really focus on doing each one. All right, ready, guys? Let's do this. Satchel Paige pitched 3 scoreless innings in 1965. He was 59 years old, the oldest man ever to play Major League Baseball. That was pretty good. I think that works. Paige debuted in the major leagues at 42 years old. He helped Cleveland win the pennant. Gosh, guys. Gosh. Come on. Terrible. Well, it's okay. At least it was only 8 seconds. Paige debuted in the major leagues at 42 years old. He helped Cleveland win the pennant and was the oldest pitcher. Oh my God. What am I doing, guys? It's tough.
Paige debuted.
Oh my God.
Paige debuted
in
the major.
God.
Satchel Paige.
Jeez, guys. It's so bad. I'm so bad. I'm sorry. I'm going to get better at it, but maybe I just try to do it all at once. I don't know. It's the compound sentences tripping me up. The compound sentence is tripping me up. We'll get it done. Don't worry, we'll get it done. Paige debuted in the major leagues at 42 years old. He helped Cleveland win the pennant and was the first black pitcher in Major League Baseball history. All right. No, it wasn't Major League Baseball history. It was World Series history. All right, guys, I'm gonna take a step away. I think that's what's. I'll be right back. Okay, I'll be right back, but might have to take a step away just to. Thanks for all the support, guys. We're trying here. This is why I don't like to record on cam. It's. Anyway, I'll play something for you guys while. I'll play our. I'll play our former squad predictions. I'll be right back. You're gonna have to take a step away, guys. It's all good. I'll be right back.
Next February, when Super Bowl 60 kicks off, there's a good chance we see some new blood. Despite all the tension going to Jackson Dart, the Giants' last QB has his new team rolling and still flying under the radar. Danny Dimes has flourished in Indianapolis. The Colts have the NFL's best record and are the biggest surprise in the AFC this season. In the NFC, Baker Mayfield has the Buccaneers on top of their division. Baker's in his third year leading Tampa Bay after a rocky start to his career. They hope the third time's a charm, and Baker can deliver the third Super Bowl for the Bucs. A couple years ago, you would have sounded crazy calling for a Danny Dimes Baker Mayfield matchup in the Super Bowl. In a league built on storylines, crazy might make it perfect.
All right, we're back, guys. We're back. Thanks for your patience. Sorry to keep you waiting. Do it all at once, just read it. I'll try. Thanks for the support, though. I don't know if I should do it all at once, but we're going to try to clip it up. Clarks, we got this. Don't worry. I think my hood was down before. I'm not sweating it, Clarks. Don't worry. We're not sweating it here. Page debuted in the major leagues at 42 years old. He helped Cleveland win the pennant and was the first black pitcher in World Series history. Nailed it. All right, good. How now, brown cow? All right, we got this, guys. For decades prior to his major league debut, Satchel Paige dominated the Negro Leagues and grew his legend. All right, we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. And then this one will be the legend of Satchel Paige. All right, we got that. And I'll say some of his popular myths include telling his fielders to take a knee while he struck out the side, walking the bases loaded to strike out a prime Josh Gibson, and learning how to pitch while incarcerated from ages 12 to 17. We're going to record that one more time. That was pretty close, but we're going to record it one more time. Some of his popular myths include telling his fielders to take a knee while he struck out the side, walking the bases loaded to strike out a prime Josh Gibson, and learning how to pitch while incarcerated from ages 12 to 17. All right, I think that was pretty good. And then I'm thinking, call me crazy, guys, I might like have AI read his quote. Like an AI voice. Paige said, "Well, I'll read it one. I'll read it first here, but we might do an AI generated voice, if that makes sense." You guys get what I'm saying? We might do an AI generated voice. Oh, well, thanks for woohoo. All right, great guys. Great. We're doing great here. We also learned about the KBO a little bit today. That's the first time the KBO's make an appearance on Former Squad. What do you guys think about having like a AI narration for his quote instead of me saying it? Well, I'll say it, but we might use AI. Paige said, "I traded 5 years of freedom to learn how to pitch. They were not wasted years at all. It made a real man out of me." I just think it might be better if. Yeah, I think that might, like, we'll see how it sounds, Elena. I think we'll go from there. We'll start making our video now as the stream quality cuts to nada. All right, so we got a script written. We got all this stuff recorded.
Some of his the legend for Page Day.
Whatever, we're fine.
Satchel.
We're fine. We got them all. Right?
Page debuted in the major leagues.
It's weird. I'm like looking. I gotta get a camera. It's all right. We'll get a camera. Jeez, guys, this stream was doing great. It was doing so well until the 45-minute mark. It was doing so well. Got up to 106 views though, guys. That's nice. Saying we're offline though, possibly. Damn. Dang. I'm hoping it's not going to cut this stream out right here. If it cuts it out right here, we'll just come back later on tonight, guys, and finish this on later. But I'm going to keep going until it kicks me off, literally. Thank you guys for joining today. All right, well, you see we're finally starting to make this thing.
Page date. For decades, the legend of Satchel Paige.
Start with that? Or do we just not even include that?
The legend. The legend of Satchel Paige.
This will be good, guys. This will be good if it lets us stream here. uh, Stream was going so well, too. So well. It's alright. It was a success. Big time success. See if that helps.
The legend of Satchel Paige. Paige said, I traded 5 years.
Oh, this